This group of wolves are experienced hunters. They saw different things in life, including how mothers fiercely fight for their cubs. But this is the first time they see a berserker moose and did not really expect such a development. Wolves chase their prey for quite a long time. Usually moose can keep a great pace and many miles break away from the chase. In addition, the moose is an incredibly huge animal whose physical strength is often underestimated. But this giant can reach a mass of only a little less than a ton, and the force of its impact is capable of breaking a wolf's neck. So here the female and the cub took advantage of all their advantages. She really ran from her pursuers for a long time, but the wolves drove her into a small lake. It would seem that a longer-legged animal has an advantage here, because the wolf needs to jump out of the water to grab at the throat. But that is just the predators attack the female only in the second place. Their main target is the calf. They distract the moose to get close to the baby. The wolves know that the mother will desperately protect him and forget even about her own safety. But the predators were wrong. It looks like the moose caught the courage of the battle and lost control of its movements. She tried to fight off the club, but got carried away, went on an attack of the wolves, and delivered a powerful hoof kick right at her calf. He is in shock and almost choked. It seems that this only angered the moose even more, who went on to fight with the wolves. The predators did not expect such a development. They rushed at both of them. The wolf's fangs bit into the cub, and the moose went for a battering ram. Doesn't she understand what she's doing? In any case, the moose missed. Just look at how the wolves dodged her punch. The predator that held her club in its teeth didn't even release its grip at all. All this time, he held the calf in his teeth, strangled it, and drowned it. And the enraged female, it seems, did not even notice her mistake and got out onto the shore, where it was more convenient for her to continue the fight. Did she just abandon her offspring? Just the mother of the year. While she got out of this mess alive, the wolves really underestimated her berserker temper. Everyone knows the stubborn nature of donkeys, but few people know that this is not their main feature. These herbivorous animals stand out much more for their ability to fight. Didn't expect it? So these hyenas also did not think that a funny animal with long ears, a vulnerable neck, and a funny elongated muzzle could literally trample a dangerous predator that could even fight a panther one-on-one. The stubbornness of the donkey is also manifested in its bloodlust. This animal is usually calm and peaceful, but if it feels threatened, it will not stop by simply scaring off the enemy, and even more so, will not try to escape. Are you running into a donkey? Then get ready for a long duel, as a result of which the ungulate will also mock the loser to teach him an unforgettable lesson. As you can see, the main weapon of the ungulate is its jaws. It can kick, but in terms of limb strength, it is inferior to larger ungulates like horses. But teeth are another matter. In nature, donkeys are residents of arid regions and places with a rather harsh climate. The vegetation there is sparse, and more importantly, very tough. The donkey has no fangs, and the teeth are flat, not sharp. But this is not a flaw, but a real weapon. The fact is that in order to feed on the toughest, hardest, and prickliest vegetation, donkeys have developed a specific chewing technique. They do not bite off, but grind food like a steel construction vise. Kind of scary, isn't it? Now this hyena will be afraid to approach such an eared monster. The donkey shakes the opponent from side to side. He understands perfectly well. The nape of the neck is the place where the grip makes the enemy most defenseless. That is why the animal is aiming exactly there and trying to grab the enemy by the scruff of the neck. Did you succeed? That's it, it's a clear victory. There was no chance to escape from such a powerful grip of its enemy. Dodge and counterattack too. Maybe the donkey's arsenal of fighting techniques is not very wide, but he mastered it perfectly. But the main thing is the typical donkey's stubbornness in the context of combat use. The donkey knows that the main thing in learning is method and repetition. Even when the enemy is desperately clinging to its teeth like a ragged rag, the donkey does not calm down at all and continues to pull and bite and shake the enemy from side to side. The neck, which seemed to be such a vulnerable place, turns out to be so powerful that the donkey carries a heavy opponent without any problems whatsoever. Sharp twitches, blows, and the force of teeth can cause fatal damage to the cervical vertebrae, destroy blood vessels, and irreversibly tear muscles. And this is all despite the fact that the skin itself is likely to remain intact. But even if the predator is lucky and the donkey grabs him only by the skin, the pain from the grip of the ungulate is terrible. These carnivorous beasts will no longer associate with such a dangerous enemy. Swimming into the territory of hippos is the biggest mistake a crocodile can make. There is no longer any question of attacking these herbivores. The reptile, even in full force, can only cope with a young individual, and only when the hippopotamus is alone. An adult, powerful beast is literally too much for a crocodile. Moreover, hippos hate crocodiles and respond to reptilian aggression with tenfold rabies. The behemoth will not simply try to avoid confrontation, will not try to repel the attack and escape. Perhaps the crocodile, with its manner of suddenly attacking from under muddy water, considers itself a living inevitability. Well, if a stupid overgrown lizard crosses the path of a hippopotamus, the same thing awaits her as Thanos. The hippopotamus will not stop until it simply turns the opponent into a chop. There was a lot of evidence that the huge mammals attacked the reptiles first. Admit it, you need to be a really brave beast to be the first to pounce on an armored crocodile with a fanged mouth as long as an adult's leg. But this behemoth doesn't care about the arsenal of its enemies. These giants reach about 3 tons in weight. Their rounded bodies have a shape from which the reptile bite will simply slide off. At the same time, hippos can move frighteningly fast, both on land and even more so in water, where they are also very maneuverable. Their skin is smooth, but thick enough to protect even better than the powerful scales of a crocodile. In general, the behemoth wins on all counts, but especially on the level of aggression. It is curious that a hippopotamus can tolerate the presence of a crocodile while the reptile behaves calmly. But if she gets too close, she is perceived as a target. The most epic thing is when a crocodile finds itself surrounded by a huge herd of hippos. Of course, this is a rarity, and the shots you see are unique. Pay attention to the brutality with which angry hippos deal with adult and powerful crocodiles. A reptile that could catch a bull is absolutely helpless against such a crowd of aggressive enemies. She can't do anything against them. Crushing blows with her jaws fall on the reptile and take off her armor, like a stone crumpling paper. But the most amazing thing is that herbivorous aggressors pass the crocodile to each other like a toy. It's like a reptile is a simulator where hippos practice their fighting skills. But this looks pretty epic, doesn't it? The hippos are literally thrown around by the reptile, whose weight is much greater than that of an adult. Well, if other crocodiles are watching this scene, then they will never approach the reservoir again, even within shooting distance.